Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to my channel. I am Shar, and I wanted to come back today because I'm so excited. I got my new iPhones. My new iPhone 11s. I have two. I love these. I have the yellow. I don't know if the yellow is coming through, but let me see. It's not coming through for some reason. It's so crazy. It's really not. There it is, a little bit. It's yellow. I don't know why. There it is. I was gonna say, I don't know why it's not coming through. That's yellow. And then, of course, I don't have to do all that for red. I have red. I have two. One I'm going to sell because I can. Anyway, I'm so excited about the iPhone 11s. I didn't get the, what is it, the XR Pro or whatever. I don't know. The 3 cameras is not needed. I really don't need it. Who cares? But I did want to come back today to one, pay homage to Kobe Bryant and Gianna Bryant and the other passengers that was on the helicopter. May their souls rest in peace, and prayers go out to their families. All of that. That is so crazy and so devastating. I am so shocked. It just seems like, I don't know. I don't know. You know, when people are good and they do great things, and you know, we see them on TV so much, we just feel like we know them, and we just and that's why when stuff happens like this, or they die, or whatever the case may be, we feel pain. We, as the general public, we feel like, oh my God, like, oh. And so that's why people are just like wheeling with grief. Right now, you see grown 6 feet tall men crying, boo-hooing, and snickering and snotting, and it's just crazy. But yeah, this video is actually about Kobe. Um, I did a little research, and you guys know I don't do that much research about stuff because it was too much. But you know what? I've been looking at TV just like everybody else and seeing everything that's being said about Kobe and hold on a minute. Everything that's being said about Kobe and you know, everybody's saying God bless Vanessa and the other daughters. Of course, God bless the other passengers and their families, and that's all good. But I just could, because it happened last Saturday, so we were almost at a complete week. I'm sorry, last Sunday. And I was just like, when is somebody going to say God bless his mother and his father and his sisters? Like, what? Like, well, no one's saying anything about his sister and his mother and his father. Like, come on, what's going on? I mean, they don't exist. Are they both, all of them dead? Like, is his complete entire family, as far as the mother, brother, the mother, father, and the sisters, are they deceased or something? Like, why isn't anyone saying anything about his parents? And I began to start thinking about things like, oh, okay, well, yeah, he had a strange relationship with his mom and dad, or the parents in general, or maybe the sisters too, or whatever. And I'm assuming the sisters too, because they didn't really talk either. Okay, I mean, that's all well and good, but do you really feel like his mother and his father is not somewhere on their knees crying their eyes out, torn with grief, stricken, as they say, stricken with grief, especially because the relationship was strained, or the lack of the relationship that they had with their son. Like, because Kobe did not speak on his parents in that situation often, or whatever the case may be, like, it's crazy to not include them in these not salutations, but it's crazy to not include the parents when you talk about God bless his family. And I know that covers everybody, but it should be a specific, his mother, his father, Pam and Joe, just like they're saying, God bless Vanessa and the girls. Right after mother, father, and his sisters. That's only fair. I mean, because technically this is just a family problem. It's just a family situation. But best believe that Kobe loved his mother, loved his father, and loved his sisters. Now, you can't help it because you can't get along with certain family. That's in every family. I can't get along with my older sister. I mean, I love her. I don't want to see anything happen to her. And we can argue one day or even the same day and be laughing and talking later on that day, or argue this day and be laughing and talking the very next day. Just because people have inner workings within their family don't mean they, and maybe don't F with them that much, doesn't mean they don't have deep feeling and love and care for that family member. So don't think because Kobe really didn't, I don't want to say F with them, because I don't know what the level of when he talked to him and when he did, but just because he had issues with his mother and father or his sisters as well, don't mean he didn't care for his family. Doesn't mean he didn't love his mother and father and sisters. I mean, come on, people. And I feel like it's disrespectful for the media, countless media and news outlets, to not include his parents when they say God bless his mother and the father. I mean, God bless the families. Like, separate his mother and father just like you're separating Vanessa and the girls. They're just as important, regardless of, like I said, regardless of the inner workings or inner issues within that family. So what? They brought him into this world. They created him. His father is the one that planted the seed and the love for basketball into his son as a child. Which brings me to this article. There's just so much. It's always so much. This is an article, and I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't have the links. I didn't put the links in here. A long form piece written by. This was, I'll tell you who it was written by. It's an ESPN link, or ESPN article that was done by a Ramona Shelburne. Shelburne is Shelburne, Ramona Shelburne, and this is an article from ESPN. Now, obviously, because this Kobe issue is just about at a week old. Obviously, it's going to be, one of the most current articles from this lady at the ESPN site, ESPN.com, or you may be able to find it at ESPN, the YouTube channel. So it says, a Kobe Bryant reveals why his relationship with his parents is awful, and why he hasn't spoken to them in 3 years. Now, this article, as I stated, was posted recently. But they were talking about in a 2006 time frame. So prior to 2016. So prior to 3 years from that was 15, 14, and 13. So this is going down. I mean, he's indicating that he hasn't spoken with them for 3 years. This interview narration was taking place in 2016. So he hadn't spoken to them since 2013 at that time. Okay? So it says Kobe is freshly retired. And we all know that he retired in 2016. So there you go. But he's still taking shots, this time aimed at his parents, former NBA forward Joe Jellybean Bryant, and his wife, which is Kobe's mom, Pam, who were both absent from their son's final NBA game. It says, in a long form piece written by this lady, Ramona Shelburne of ESPN, Kobe candidly discussed how his once close relationship with his parents soured after Kobe felt his parents were never satisfied with what he provided for them. He hasn't spoken to them in over 3 years. Now, there you go. That's the beef. That is the beef. They were not satisfied with what Kobe was giving them. Now, Kobe is a multi-millionaire, just got mega, mega bucks. I went online recently, what was it, yesterday? Or maybe it was the day before, and um, Vanessa is currently worth $600 million. They weren't satisfied, so that's where the beef started. He bought them a massive, beautiful home in Philadelphia, which is where they're from, and that's what he set out to do. He said he was going to do that. He did that, and let's just read between the lines. He gave them money and all that stuff early on. Obviously, at some point, he was like, this is getting old. Like, y'all are constantly coming to me for money. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that for you guys. I don't want that for me. And whatever reasons why, he didn't want that. He didn't want it to be that way. And so this is why he had issues. And the thing that broke the camel's back, I guess, for Kobe, and I guess this was like the retaliation from the parents as to, oh, you not gonna give me money? Oh, you're not giving me what I'm asking for or what we asking for? Oh, I got something for you. I'll sell you stuff. I'll sell you shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'll sell the memorabilia that I got at my home from you being in high school and your top scoring trophies and your medallions. I'll sell your one of your championship rings and all of that. I'll sell it because I can probably get exactly what I'm asking you for from the sales of this stuff. And you know what? If anybody knows out there that's listening, please let me know if they actually sold it. Because, this article didn't actually confirm that they sold it. Like, a transaction went through where someone actually purchased the stuff and they got the money. It did say this is why, but I guess they did sell it though, because it does say the sale of Kobe's paraphernalia or memorabilia rather, and it says Kobe's words. These are air quotes. Our relationship is shit. He says, going to buy you a very nice home. This is him saying, I'm going to buy them a very nice home. And he's like, that's not good enough for them. That was their stance. That's not good enough. You bought us a beautiful home and we still want more, And he was just pissed about it. It says, Kobe is, of course, talking about the ugly incident which happened back in 2013 when Joe and Pam went behind his back and attempted, and that's why I said I don't know if it was an actual sale of the things or not, because it says an attempted auction of 6 of their sons' memorabilia items, including 2 of his high school uniforms and 2 rings from the 2000 Lakers championship. So, he left 2 rings from 2000 to the 2000 Laker NBA championship at their home, or in their possession, I should say. 2 championship rings from the Lakers he had in his parents' possession. Now, I don't know if it's just because he's so busy, a big NBA star, that, he took it over there to his mom and his dad to, revel in that beautiful moment and just left them, or he's like, here Mom, here Dad, let them stay at your house, this is like 2 of my first 2, or whatever the case may be. However, whatever, they were in his parents' possessions, and that, like it says, they attempted to auction them off. I don't know if it was an actual sale or not. Please, in the comment section, let me know. I'm actually really interested. This story just interests me and intrigued me altogether because, like I said, I was just constantly wondering, like, why nobody saying nothing about his parents? Like, why God can't be with his parents? Like, why can't God bless his mother and bless his father during this tragic time? You know, they love their son. They love the grandkids, even if they didn't see them all the time. You know, it's a part of Kobe, which makes them love the child or the children, you know, the girls. So it just felt disrespectful to me that they never, you know, out of all this time hasn't really included the parents. And it just made me want to find out what is that all about, like what, you know. And that's when I came across, which this stuff is not gossip, it's public knowledge. You know, Kobe, you know, he actually talked about, you know, this stuff publicly. Obviously he did an interview about it and mentioned it. And you know, early on 2013 and all that, he discussed it, he talked about it. So this is not like, you know what I'm saying, it's not like gossip. This is really happened. You know, he really talked about this stuff. So it's not gossip at all. But so I don't want to make it seem like I'm gossiping about someone who's no longer here. You know what I mean? But yeah. So the article goes on to say that Bryant sued Golden Auctions, which is the brokerage company his parents used, which was met with a countersuit that maintained that Pamela was the owner of the items, revealing that the company had already given her an advance of, there you go. Because I hadn't really read this all the way through, guys, so I'm kind of just reading it for the first time with you all. So it says that they gave her an advance upwards of $450,000 for those items. And to pay for a home, it says to pay for a home for Bryant's father and herself in Las Vegas. His parents his parents then issued an apology. So it was a thing of that they wanted more from him. He was not willing to give more. Or maybe he was saying, you know what, I'll give more, but you guys got to tell me for what. I'm not just going to shell out $100 and $200 and $300,000 to you guys and you not tell me why. You know what I mean? I don't know the mindset of a multi-millionaire. You know, some people sit back and they say, well, you know, if I had as much money as Kobe, you know, my parents asked for $100,000 or more or whatever, I just give it to them. I don't care what they're using it for. But you never know. You never know how you begin to think. Even though you have so much money, you probably will say, for what? Like, what? I just gave y'all a house, or, you know, what you need that? You know, I'm not the bank. I have money. Obviously, I'm rich. And best believe, if you told me that the house that I bought for y'all, or the house that y'all live in, or whatever the case may be, is getting ready to get taken from y'all and up for foreclosure, you best believe I'm going to save it. I'm going to put that money and I'm going to get it back for you. You know, y'all ain't going to never struggle. But y'all ain't gonna keep coming to me just for $200,000 and $300,000 and $400,000 every other year, or 2-3 years apart. Y'all ain't gonna keep doing that. You're just not. And so that's how Kobe thought of it, for whatever reasons why. Or maybe he felt like his parents, you know, even though they're his parents, you know, some people got parents, they love them to death, will die for them, will kill for their parents, you know, right situation. But they might know that their mother or their father is a hot mess. Like, you know, some people would be like, you know, I love my mama, but she a hot mess. You know, she's not good with money. She's not good with business. I wouldn't give her, you know, $2,000. I know my mama will blow it. You know what I mean? Some people feel that way because that's the deal. That's the situation. And, you know, he didn't say those words, but that might be how his parents were. Like, they blow money. Like, they just spend it, you know. And if you go to Google and you see some of the pictures of his mom was beautiful, or is beautiful. I was saying was. His mom is beautiful. And, you know what I'm saying? His mom, luxurious hair, regardless if it's growing out of her scalp or if it's a lace front, whatever it is, it looks well on her. It looks beautiful on her. And she is, you know, you could tell she's like elegant and she's like into the best, the nicest of things, jewelry, clothes, homes. You know, she just gives off that era when you see her. Like, I did a Google search and did some images, and she is just, she's beautiful. She's a really, really, which attests to Kobe's looks. I mean, his father was, I feel like, personally, I feel like his father looked better years ago. But he's older now, and he still looks good for his age. But he was handsome a long time ago, like really, really handsome. And his mom, like I said, his mama is really, really pretty. In my opinion, she has a really good, striking look about her, which attests to Kobe's looks. You know what I mean? Why Kobe is so handsome. So it's really great genes over there with the Bryants. But yeah. So this is where it all went down. This is the problem. He felt away. Like, you selling my stuff? Like, is it that serious? Like, do y'all need money that bad that y'all gonna sell my most precious things? Like, I might not have the things in my home, like the jerseys from high school, but that's like memorabilia for me. That's like I can look back and think about in my head where I was mentally and physically, looking back at your jersey, just like looking back at your high school graduation picture. You think back where you were and what was going on in your life and how you felt, and really when you think to the present day, you feel like I didn't never think I'd be here. And that's probably how he felt. I never thought I'd be here. I wanted to be here, but hell, I didn't think I was gonna make it. I'm in the NBA. I'm a millionaire. I'm on the hottest team in America. I'm on the Lakers. Like I'm starting. So that was probably his mindset when you look back at those jerseys and you guys just about to sell them and give them to whomever. And they're gonna just be sitting up in their house, maybe in a glass frame. But it meant more to him than that, and it soured their relationship when that went down, and that was the problem. But he seems to have been really, really structured, and he was big on, obviously, respect and worth, self-worth, and mother and father or not. That's disrespectful to me, because it's not that serious. I'm here for y'all financially if you need it. And they felt like, if we just asked you for 300,000 or whatever the number was, just give it to us, Kobe. We brought you into this world. It's your daddy, the reason why you have a love for the game. You just didn't get touched by God with this gift. Your daddy instilled it. It's your DNA. Your dad was awesome in basketball. Plus, he trained you. Plus, he was showing you video and this and that from day one. It's because of him, the reason why you're here. We gave you life. We gave you shelter, food. You know what I mean? We raised you to be the best. You know what I mean? We took you over to Italy because that's where your father was playing. We made you cultured. You know what I mean? You are the pick of the litter because of us. So what we asking you for 400,000 easy and not giving you an explanation? You know what? I don't know if Kobe wanted them to give him a business proposal or a business plan for money or not, but Kobe wasn't having it. And so this is what the wedge was. It drove them apart. The article is really, really good. I mean, please, like I said, I think it'll be easier for you to go to the YouTube ESPN channel and pull up articles about Kobe. It'll be right there because, like I said, this was recent that this lady Ramona Shelburne posted this, and so it went on to say Kobe also revealed the strain on the relationship he held with his sisters, Sharia and Shea, after he claims they were relying too heavily on the brother providing them instead of seeking their own identities. Let's pause there. And he went on to say that his sisters are very smart and they're both college educated. But let's stop right there. Now, I somewhat don't agree with that. I almost really kind of have an issue with that a little bit. Because my thing is, what do you mean, Kobe? And may you rest in peace. But what do you mean exactly that they almost didn't have their own identities? I mean, I know when I was younger, and I think the girls are older than him. Maybe one of them is older, maybe the other is younger. I don't know. But it doesn't really matter the age. But the thing is, I have sisters, they just happen to be older than me. But I know when I was asking, when I was much younger, like in my early teens, 16, 15, and things like that, before I was able to work. And hell, even after I became working, like in my early 20s, I remember going to my my middle sister a lot and asking for money because my sister, like in the 90s, in the early 2000s, like she was making a lot of money. She's a hairstylist and she's a cosmetologist, and she had tons of clients, like tons at that time. And my sister was making a lot of money, like to the point where, the clothes that she wore to work, sometimes she would forget to clean her pockets. And just to show you, and if you know anything about hairstylists, a lot of them wear those the waist bands or waist, it's not a trainer, but it's just like a little pouch, and they stick their money, like if they're doing like a booth rental to the place where they're, and even some salon owners, they'll have a little pouch where they stick all their money in when people pay them. And my sister would come out with a fat wad for the day, especially on the weekends, and especially in the summertime. People got their hair done all the time, and sometimes when she didn't have space in that pouch, she would put money in her pockets of her clothes. And I always used to love to get her clothes that she would like leave on the floor in her room or in her closet, because it would be like easy $50, $60, $70, just bills, 20s to 50, not 50s usually, but 20s and 10s and 5s, and I would count it all out. A lot of times it would be like 60 whole dollars, 50 whole dollars. One time it was even as much as $75 just with the 50s, not the 50s, I don't know why I keep saying 50s, but just with the 20s, the 10s, and the 5s, and singles sometimes. One time I got a whole $75, and that was all the time. That wasn't just a coinky dink, like it happened. It happened all the time. So I'm saying this to say that I used to ask my sister for money all the time, but I was still like in high school, and then after graduation, I still was like hanging with my friends and going out. And then by the time I was in my 20s, I was doing the club scenes where I live, and I would go to the mall with my friends, and we would go get outfits. And I wasn't trying to be my sister. I wasn't thinking about my sister. I mean, I'm using her money most times, or I would have asked her for money, but that was my sister. This is me. I'm going to get the mini or this or that or Timberland, whatever. I wasn't thinking about my sister, and I wasn't trying to identify with her. So I'm not exactly sure when he says they were depending on him, and instead of trying to seek their own identities. Like, first of all, they're girls. How they're not trying to identify with you and trying to be a boy. They're not Kobe. They can't be, you know what I mean? I can see if they were like, oh, you know what, we're going to start playing basketball too. And unless they tried to do that, and he didn't say that in the interview. He didn't say that to the interviewer. So I don't know. I don't know what he means by that. But, and please, guys, by no means, this is not a diss to Kobe or whatever. I'm just trying to understand the strain and what went on and all that. But, I don't know. I just think that was not a cop out, but what you mean they're trying to identify? They didn't have their own identities. I don't get that. Like, there were two girls that had a rich brother, so when they need something, they want to go buy the new Yukon that's out or the new Lexus truck. I mean, they would call you and say, "Can you get this for me?" That don't have nothing to do with not having an identity of their own. That's got something to do with my brother has the money, so I'm gonna ask him. But I don't know. And then, it takes me back to also thinking that, and no diss to his wife, Vanessa, you know, may God bless her, and the girls, may God give her the wherewithal, the strength. And this is no joke. Like, give her the strength, because she's going to need a lot of inner strength, emotional strength to get through this. This major, she lost her husband and her daughter. I can't even imagine the hurt that she feels. Some people, they can deal with death better than others. You know what I mean? Like me, like when my father died, my family shut down. Like the entire immediate family, me, my two sisters, my brother, and my mom, shut down. Like, I had to work so hard to get back on track with school. I was left behind. Yes, I did. I got left behind in one grade because I didn't want to go to school anymore. I was totally depressed. I think my brother, I think he dropped out. Nobody wanted to do anything. Like, we shut down as a family. We were so, and there's no better word to describe it, we was so stricken with grief that it tore us up. And I remember a long time ago, we argued so much as a family, the sisters and the brothers. And my mom would just stand back and just be like, I don't know what to do with these kids. And mind you, my mom was a homemaker. Like, she was a stay-at-home mom. She was a wife. She kept our house immaculate. She cooked dinner, and that's all she did. She didn't work because my dad was the breadwinner and the provider. He went to work. So my mom had to figure it out. She had to go find a job. She didn't have any job skills because she was just a wife. Like, she doesn't know. Plus, they moved from the south to the north. She didn't know anything about the north, like nothing. But long story short, she worked it out. She found a job. But I'm just saying, it was hard. So when my mom would be at work, us, the kids, we was going ham on each other, like arguing because we were so stricken with grief. We probably should have gotten counseling, but we didn't. Because, counseling it's just starting to get popular now with mental health and talking to somebody and all that. And I'm so glad it has become popular. But back then, it just wasn't the deal. It just wasn't popular and all that stuff. And, it took us a long time to get back straight and get back healthy as a family, and for us to flourish again as a family. We all got back on track, got in school, finished school, went to college and all these things. But it took a long time. And so I was just saying that to say that your wife, Vanessa, what does she do? You want them to be so... First of all, you already stated that they have college educations. They're college educated. They're smart. His words. And no diss to Vanessa, because some people don't have no interest in going to college. College is not for everybody. It's not the fact that she didn't go, but I'm just saying your wife didn't go to school. She is not necessarily, and I'm not saying what she is now, because she could have gone to school, gotten a college degree, have many skill sets or whatever, because I don't know anything about her. Obviously people are reading up on the family and the wife and all this stuff now because of this tragedy. But prior to, I'm talking about when they got married, they were teenagers. I think he was 20, 21. She was 19. She ain't got no job. She don't have any skill sets. She didn't go to college at that time. She didn't have any prospects of going to college at that time. I mean, she ain't doing nothing either. So why are you so hard on them to make sure that they're doing something? And I mean, obviously they had already locked down the college degree, or if they didn't have it, they were getting it. So that meant they were in school. What else you want from them? I didn't understand that, Kobe. I didn't. Seeking out their own identity. They just want your money to buy nice things. They have their own identity, Kobe. I'm sure they did. But anyway, so he said they're very smart, college educated. Kobe says, I'm really proud of them. They were able to get their own jobs. Okay, they got their own jobs. Then what you talking about? What was you talking about, Kobe? Like, this is just some really dysfunctional mess that went on, and it was so unfortunate. Like, and I know the parents and the sisters they probably are right now what they call stricken with grief, because they probably looking at it like, we were so effing stupid and dumb, and if I could just get him back, you know what I mean, and reverse everything, we would just do away with all this nonsense. Because it sounds like it was nonsense. A bunch of prideful people standing tight and standing hold to some bull crap. Kobe the same, the mother, Kobe getting it from somewhere. They're always just stubborn people. And it sounds like, if somebody could have just gave the other a little bit extra, they could have worked things out. But everybody is just stubborn, obviously, that's involved. And he says, because, I guess, of the graduation from college, they have a better sense of self. And, okay, so, it's like he contradicting everything. Like, you want to have them their own identity, but they had jobs. They went to college, they finished. I don't get that. So, it's just crazy. And it says, Bryant addressed how he had to make difficult decisions of cutting them off financially so they could find their own way. So, for Kobe to be so adamant about this and, like he said, cut them off, Obviously it was just a constant Kobe, give me this, Kobe texting, phone calls, whatever was out then, emails. I need this, I need that. Can you give me? Can you give me? Can me? You know what I mean? It was just craziness with the mama, the two sisters, the daddy. Everybody was just constantly at him on. Must have been on a regular, repetitive basis. And he was like, I gotta put a stop to this. Like, y'all gotta do something. But I mean, they kept their own jobs. But I understand that, I don't I do feel like it may be unrealistic for him to think that it was just gonna be a one time shot, like a one time deal. Like maybe not on a regular basis, like week to week, month to month, like they were doing, but I just feel like it was unrealistic of him to think that it was just gonna be like they was gonna ask you for money that one time, and and you didn't expect for them to ask you for money ever again. That might be a little far fetched, but hey, if that's how he wanted it, that's how he wanted it. But I just feel like that would never happen. But yeah, that's crazy. I just feel so bad because I know that family is tripping. His mother, his father, and the sisters. I know they're hurt. Now this is another article that I pulled. Now this one, I am totally sorry. This one, it didn't print off the where it was from. It is a recent article from 2020, January 27, 2020, but it didn't print off the where it was from and who published it. I'm sorry, so I can't tell you that. But it's an article that says how Kobe Bryant tragedy has brought the Nets closer. I don't really care about that part, but it says Kobe and his dad appeared, and I thought this was nice. I like this because, like I said, no matter what the issues were with Kobe and his family, he loved his parents. You know what I mean? And it says Kobe and his dad appeared to be on the way to mending the year's rift when he was tragically killed. A former coach said Monday. Says Wayne Slappy, one of the NBA legend coaches and a good friend of Kobe's dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, told the Daily Mail he had seen Kobe recently hug his father at a basketball game or a basketball camp in California. And this is the coach's um, his quote. He says, "I just remember being with him up at his camp and in Santa Barbara, and seeing him hug his dad." And it says, "You know how they loved each other from how they looked at each other and how they smiled at each other." And it says Kobe publicly fell out with his parents, Joe and Pamela, back in 2013 when they tried to peddle, and this is the article's wording, not mine, tried to peddle some of his memorabilia, including his two high school uniforms, and a pair of Los Angeles Lakers championship rings from 2000 without his knowledge. So they did this without his knowledge, which that'll piss you off if you were Kobe. And it says Kobe also laid into his two sisters at one time, calling them very smart, college educated women, but adding they had become too financially reliant on him. Slappy told the Mail that while it appeared Kobe was ready and to seriously mend fences with his loved ones, tragically his death on Sunday, the helicopter crash, brought a full reconciliation to a halt, obviously, along with Kobe's 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, who was also killed, along with 7 other. So, yeah, this was really, really, really a tragedy. So, yeah, it looks like, according to this article, um, they were trying to do what they can as a family, as a son, as a father, to mend the relationship, but it's too late. It's really too late, and that's why I know that his parents are just, you know, totally stricken with grief. I know they are. I know they're hurting, and the sisters. I know they're hurting and they're hurting bad because they wasted a lot of time. And when things like this happen, you realize how freaking stupid you are and how that ish just does not matter at the end of the day when things like this happen. When someone loses their life, you think back like, why couldn't I have said this or done that? Or, you know what I mean? You may have wasted, they wasted years not talking. And technically, it was all over money. So that's why, families, people, they got to be prepared for somebody in the family to be that rich. I think back to Prince when he passed, and it was shocking that he didn't have a will. Like, you thought Prince was so smart when you heard him talk. We all knew that he was very talented, but, when you heard him talk, you felt like, yeah, he got his business in order. You know what I mean? But we found out when he passed that he did not have a will and he had all this money. And, thinking back to some of the articles and some of the media publications when Prince passed, same thing. His family just was, that's what happens. When you are a mega millionaire, the family just gonna be like, give me this, give me that, give me this, because they figure you got it. It's not hurting you. Give it to me. You know what I mean? But the thing is, with his family, I think a large part of his immediate family, they were a little shifty, a little shaky. Like, I think the sister had a drug problem, and maybe a lot of the step siblings and all that, they just were kind of a little shifty, unfortunately. So that was another reason why Prince was like, I'm not giving them money like that. You're not buying drugs or whatever it is you're gonna do with my money. Or I remember reading something where they said, or it may have been his documentary that came on E or something, where he mentioned that a family member um, wanted him to buy a very brand new car, and he was like, "What's wrong with the car that you have?" They told him, and he was like, "Oh, that can be fixed. I'll get the car fixed." Like, you know what I mean? Like, all they wanted was a new car. Like, that's a nip in the bud for you. But he actually paid to get the car fixed. So that's just telling you Prince's mindset. Like, I'm just not buying frivolously, but you have all this money. You know what I mean? And that's just how it. People that have the money, and you'll be surprised, they are the most stingiest people because now they have it, and so now they have this mindset like, I want to keep it. I'm not just spending just to be spending and or whatever. You know what I mean? So clearly that's how Kobe was too. But I'll be surprised that Kobe did not have a will. I know he has a will. I know he had all his business in order. And I don't know if it's going to come out publicly. I hope it does. Not that I'm just so nosy, but I would not be surprised if Kobe left the family money because I'm gone. You know what I mean? I'm not going to just leave all this money to my wife and to my children. Definitely, they're going to be straight. Like, they don't never have to work or worry about, they can be their own boss. Girls have money put away for college if that's what they choose to do. Or he might have it where they have to graduate college or whatever. My wife, she's straight. And I'm going to make my family, the girls, my sisters, my mother, my father, they're going to be straight. It's just going to be after I'm gone. In his head, he probably thought when he's 60 plus, 65, 70, that's when he's gone, which the parents may be gone by then. Who knows? But, I wouldn't be surprised if he left his parents something and his sisters. I really wouldn't. But, and I don't know if that will go public or not. We will never, ever, ever know. But you know what I do hope? I hope that Vanessa truly tries to get close with them and allow the grandkids to see the parents. Maybe her can bury the hatchet. You know what I mean? I hope. But I also really quick, because I wanted to end this video. It's going really, really long, and I hate the long videos. But I also really quick wanted to talk about something else that I overheard. I don't even know if it's worth bringing it up, but it's a YouTuber. It's a guy. I'm not going to give his information because whatever. I don't even care. But he's one of these people that believe in the Illuminati stuff, and I know there is a such thing as the secret society, the people. It's the one percenters, right? It's these people that's worth millions of dollars or worth billions of dollars. That's the 1% of the world that are just totally megally rich, right? And these people, they have these lifestyles, these alternative lifestyles, these weird, crazy lifestyles. Because, and I don't know why they do. And it may be because they have money, they're rich. Now they can open the door to these different things. I don't know why money makes them be interested in these weird lifestyles. I'm not sure what the correlation of that is. I do know that they're rich is because, they can do anything they want. They can buy anything they want. They can buy themselves out of bad situations, legal situations, all these things. But this is the one percenters. These are the secret society people. So I get that. I believe in that. I believe that that's true. I know that that's true. Of course, Cat Williams talked about the ish years ago. The mansion parties and, what goes on at these mansion parties. One room is men on men, the other room, women on women. One room is men and women just having just orgying it out. Another room, they in there doing all kinds of psychedelic drugs and cocaine, and they doing cocaine in front of you, and people dressed up in masses, and animals are there, goats, and, all the stuff that we hear about, read about, see on the internet, all that is just true. It's not a lie. And you got people, that's what I mean. You don't have to be rich to be a devil worshiper, to be a quote unquote a witch, and to believe in witchery or whatever shit called witchcraft, I guess. You don't have to be rich, but a lot of the rich people are into this. That's why I say it's called alternative lifestyles and all that. It's not a money thing, but I guess the rich is who is indulging in it more, or maybe because the rich are so involved in it is the reason why it's become so popular, I guess. But anyway, really quickly, just the YouTuber that is so hell-bent on, getting word out about the secret society and the Illuminati or whatever. He does all this stuff on his channel about that or whatever. And sometimes I listen to what he's talking about. Sometimes I think he's way off or whatever. And this I kind of felt like he was way off on. Really quick, like I said, I want to finish up. But, we all know that the helicopter for Kobe, it went down in Calabasas, California. Now, he mentioned that the plane went down by Kim and Kanye's home, and went down in that area, which is also around Drake, the rapper, around his home. So whatever this area vicinity in Calabasas is where the helicopter went down. Now, it was some song that Drake has done. I don't know. You guys may know, because he didn't say what the title of the song was. He just gave the bar. And the bar indicated the lyrics from the song that Drake made. It had something to do where he said something about Kobe about to lose millions or something like that. And now he's saying just so happened the helicopter goes down right around Drake's house, and Kanye's house, Kim and Kanye's house. I don't understand what correlation with the Illuminati or devil worship. What does that got to do with anything? First of all, the song was recorded way when or whatever. So now you're trying to say that Drake has some inner workings and can foresee the death of Kobe, before it even happened. And Drake could be a part of this stuff and doing these things, but come on, really? Like, it was coincidence. And I didn't hear any publications about it being around Kim and Kanye's house and Drake's house. I did hear that it was in Calabasas, but I'm assuming if it was right by Kim and Kanye's house and Drake's house, they would have been saying that. Let me know in the comments if you heard that this helicopter went down around Kim and Kanye. I didn't hear that. I just heard that it was Calabasas. But, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, that was weird that this guy, so obviously he's trying to put Kobe in this 1% category where he was a part of this elite lifestyle and culture and all this stuff. I don't know. I just don't feel that he was. Like I said, I didn't really follow the NBA and Kobe that much, but, I didn't ever hear about him saying anything weird, doing anything weird. And, I didn't ever heard the media mention that he was in a weird place or doing anything weird. You know how they say things about Beyonce, like she does these little symbol things and all this shit, whatever this stuff means. You know, I never heard this about Kobe. So I don't know. I think he's a little far fetched with saying that Kobe was a part of any of that. Because I do believe that you can be in the industry or a part of the elite and not be a part of it, you know. But, because it's just about what you want to do and, if you want to be a part of that stuff. And I don't believe that he did or wanted to be. But anyway, please, guys, let me know your comments and your thoughts. And get back with me. Comment. Let me know what your thoughts were. And always, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for your time. I went way over, but please watch the video in its entirety. And if you see me saying this, you did. So thanks. Bye.